Well, and with that, we sadly have to say that 15 Seconds Festival is slowly but surely drawing to a close. And we thought long and hard about how to end this festival, how to wrap it up. And the way we thought about wrapping it up was to invite one of our favorite speakers, our very own uh, Steli FD up here, and just have him bring along some of his favorite people from all the way around the festival. So I have no idea who he's found throughout the campus, but he's definitely brought an amazing bunch of people with him, and they're gonna share their experiences, do a little recap of this year's festival, and they've all brought their backpacks, so they're ready to leave at the very first notice. Please welcome what we affectionately call the Steli FD All-Star Group for our closing Fireside of 15 Seconds this year. Cheers.
All right, so first we're going to distribute the gin and tonic. This is a tradition, the final fireside chat. Nobody's going dry. All right. This is just a teaser for the rest of you. The after party is going to be amazing. Please make sure to go to the after party. There you go. All right, so some of you...
I don't know if you need a bag.
Some of you might think, wait a second. The agenda said Steli and Scott, or better, Scott Morrison and Steli FD. I'm here to get some Scott. Who here was waiting to see Scott Morrison? Make a noise. All right, we tricked you, motherfuckers. No, Scott wanted to be here. He's heartbroken. He had to cancel in the very last minute for very good reasons that I'm not going to share with you people. We're good friends, but not that good friends. But Scott sends his regards, his love to all of you. And for the people who know Scott, you know he means it when he says it. He has such a big heart. So to replace Scott, we had to be 6 people on stage, right? To even attempt to replace a little part of the amazing human that Scott Morrison is, we had to collect an all-star group of people. And here's what we want to do to set the tone and close up the festival with all of you, if that's okay. We'd love to, and Stefan and Timo, they asked us and they said, you know, a lot of speakers that come on stage, you already have content, life experiences, stories you want to share with us, and why we're putting you on stage to share that story and your love and your experiences with our audience. But it's not just about that. It's about what happens in those 2 days. It's about the festival that we share all together. So what we're going to do is we're going to go through a few of the all-star speakers, people that have been here multiple times. Some of us can't be, you know, invited. They have to be uninvited. You know, like this corner of the area, we just come every year. They pack us up with the stage equipment, and then once a year we're back here. But we're going to share something that happened the last 2 days that touched us, that inspired us, that changed our lives. Somebody we met, something we learned, something that was unexpected. So we don't leave this festival taking our learnings with us for ourselves, but we shared with you first and foremost. Does that sound good? All right, thank you. I know it's been long 2 days. It's going to be even longer night. Just be prepared for it. All right, so here's what I'd love to do. I'd love to start on the left, the most sophisticated, the most wise side of, you know, of the couch corners. Pascal, why don't you kick us off and share some of your experiences in the past 2 days?
Well, first of all, it was amazing how many cool people you meet again. And I realized, especially after doing a workshop today, that you can, as probably everyone knows, you can learn from everyone at any time. What I repeatedly came across was the whole influencer, the whole influencers thing, and I'm kind of divided there. I'm coming from a company that is mostly known for producing bags, being in Switzerland, where probably influencers aren't that, Switzerland is so small that pretty much everybody knows everybody, so there's no influencer business there. But what I have to say is that I'm quite doubtful that for brands like us, influencers are really interesting. I think that influencers are mostly interesting for themselves and for the brands who, or for like consultancies or people who do business by providing you influencers for business. I rather think that you should invest in knowing who are the real like brand advocates that are out there. You love your brand, who've been loving your brand, who've been with you for quite a while, but you probably never, you know, made this step towards them and try to integrate them into your business and into your marketing activities. Then another funny thing was that I came across upon a lot of people who do their own businesses, and so you exchange business cards sometimes, and there's written like, "I'm the CEO of this company," and coming from a company that, you know, abandoned every title that includes any kind of chief or boss, that's a bit strange to me, and I think you can do better than that, because CEO, come on, CEO from a two-person company, that's nothing. What you should call yourself is actually founder. That's really cool, because you founded something, you invented something. That's a lot cooler than being a CEO. I would advise you to just, you know, rewrite your business cards there. What's on yours, by the way?
I don't have a business card.
Yeah, it's over anyway.
True story.
And what else? There were a lot of people telling me that they lose time, that like one of the pains is losing a lot of time in these endless meetings. You got stuck, you're discussing and discussing and discussing. And I know that this organizational model of holacracy is probably not very well known, and it sounds really complicated, which it partly is, but what it clearly brings is radically you know, boiled down meeting structures. And I think you know, there's really a way out of those endless meetings by just radically prescribe like what process these meetings follow. And if you want to learn more about that, I strongly advise you to look into holacracy, which is an organizational model that was invented by actually the company called Holacracy One at the moment. Just look it up in the internet and go through that process. It makes a lot of sense, and it makes, you know, meetings a lot faster. That's, I mean, there's tons of other points, but I know my time is over.
There you go, that's awesome. All right, so we're not gonna go the traditional route of like all through, like from left to right. We're gonna actually jump left to right. So Melissa, it'll be next. Why don't you share, you know, what your 2 days were like?
Well, first of all, Stelly taught me how to unfuck myself, so you could all say thank you to him. But yeah, I mean, I've second time at this festival. It's been incredible. Last year, I made so many connections that followed me back to New York, and that I had ongoing relationships with over the months, working together, you know, going back and forth on ideas. It didn't, the sharing of ideas and thoughts didn't like stay in this room. It left, and it continues to flow. So that's a recurring theme throughout this conference that I just love, and why I come back again. Something that happened interesting this year was that last year I noticed there was a vendor or a partner that was creating drawings of all of the speakers on the main stage. And I thought that was really cool. It was a diagram kind of flowing through their presentation. And I was like, oh, that's pretty novel. It's cool. But then this year I saw it again, and being in a new company and thinking about the way that we do things, it hit me in a different way. So seeing it the second time here, I was like, this is incredible. This could actually transform the way that we do business. We shoot conferences, we have interviews with founders all the time, but to map out a specific talk visually like that and separate it by chapters is really, really interesting and innovative. So I think it was just like being able to see something in a different light. You know, an idea can just evolve, and the fact that it evolved from last year just because, you know, my thoughts have evolved, the way that we are shooting things has evolved. I took a lot away from that, and I think those are the type of relationships you develop and reasons you want to come back. You know, you keep your mind open, and you can see something new out of something that you've already seen. So
That's awesome. And by the way, we're living testaments that you should come back next year, because we surely are going to come back. With or without you, we're coming back at this year. And this is something, if you travel to a lot of conferences and you speak all around the world, it's very rarely that you see people coming back year after year after year after year. When you see that, whatever business you're running, that is the holy grail. You want customers that can't get enough of your product, that love it so much, they can't shut up about it, and they want to come back and give you their money, their time, their attention, their love, their energy. I think this is the testament of the quality of this conference. All right, you're next.
Yeah, I'm next. And yeah, I had to write it down because of my shitty Hauptschul English. I'm a self-made guy, so yeah, I write it down. So this.
Want to do it in German?
No, it's okay.
All
I'm
right.
as pro in English. Okay, first of all, I want to thank the team of the 15 Seconds Festival for inviting me for the fourth time in a row. I'm here in Graz. Because now I know the second greatest city in the world, and it's Graz, and I mean it for sure.
Wow.
You know the best city in the world is Hamburg, but
All right,
Graz
round of
is
applause.
awesome. So in Hamburg we have an old saw. It says, you come as a stranger and you go as a friend, digger. And this is what happens 4 years ago before when I come to the 15 Seconds Festival. So once again, thank you very much. I enjoyed the second day of the festival as a visitor, not as a speaker. And I heard a lot of awesome speeches about future trends and building companies and become a better person. I met a lot of people, and most of the meetings were very great and inspiring. But one thing was weird for me. Nearly every chat was about growing a business or a career or become a more focused or successful or overall better person. The trend of self-optimizing seems to be one of the biggest topics now, these days. All I can say to you is, chill out. It's okay. Woo. It's really okay to take your time, to fail in your life or your job with your friends, and skip the gym and have instead a beer and chips on your couch and growing a food baby. Remember, life is not a sprint, life is a marathon. Just follow your heart and try to not to be an asshole, and the rest will follow. Prost.
Woo! I will frame this and sell this to the highest bidder. All right, very good. Love it. All right, so you're next.
I'm next, okay. Hi, guys.
Couldn't think of a better person to come next.
I will try to self-optimize myself. No, I just have two observations of the festival. It's also the fourth time that I'm here. And the first thing is that there's a lot of discussions about startups at this festival and a lot about leave your corporate job and, you know, large corporations are bad and these kind of things. And I was a little bit surprised by that because I think the true heroes out there are the people that actually not start a company, but they stay in an existing structure and try to bring the change from within. And I know you out there, there's a lot of people out there that work in large corporations and you are the real heroes. Please don't forget this.
Raise your hand if you work at a large corporation.
Exactly, raise your hands. And I think it's really easy to be a CEO of a two-man company, but it's very hard to work in a large corporation. So please, you are my heroes and please don't forget that. And the second thing I wanted to say is that what I found really interesting was this economy of the experience economy was a theme that was almost at every presentation that I went to. Maybe I was a little bit too selective on it. But I think, and then things are shown like artificial intelligence and virtual realities, but I think, please don't think so big about this, about consumer experiences. Don't think about events and don't think about roller coasters that are made by virtual realities. think about just your consumers that buy your product on your web store, or consumers that try to do something with your brand and they cannot because the platform doesn't allow it. I can just bring you an example from my own life. Like 2 days ago, we were launching a product on Kickstarter, and Kickstarter does not offer bank accounts in Austria. So a lot of people they could not join our campaign because there was didn't want to use a credit card, or they had no credit card. So I spent the first half day of my Kickstarter campaign making sure that these consumers are not left out. And I think for me, that's for me providing an experience. And it's not an experience where there's fireworks, it's the small things. And we got a lot of feedback from that. And I just want you to, when you think experience economy, please think also very small. Buy stuff, provide content, things like that. And I think that's really important.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thanks.
I'll say one of my favorite things before we go to come to you. One of my favorite this year's festival was Franz's face most of the day. He was like beaming with pride because he just launched his new baby. He's the new backpack. There you go. Show it highly and proudly. Put it on Kickstarter. They're crushing the numbers, and you could just see the mix of exhaustion, excitement, pride, everything mixed, while in the middle trying to hustle, email, text, take care of all his backers and all the people, and at the same time really being curious and open and excited to be here at the festival. He's really the incarnation of what the founding spirit is all about, and it was just great to see his beaming, exciting pride, and so that was one of my favorite things here. So we'll Torsten, you and I, we have a long history.
That's true.
You cannot talk about it on stage, though.
No, that's secret, top secret.
All right, so talk about everything else that happened over the last 2 days.
Okay, first of all, I want to say thank you for having me the 4th time as well, so I feel very honored. I think maybe it was a mistake of Stefan to invite me. I have no clue, because 5 years back, I'd been the social media director of a very big, well-known agency. Maybe this was the reason why he called me up. But then when the festival happened the first time, I was out of this agency. So I'm a one-man show. And what I want to share with you is very old-fashioned insights. And my old-fashioned insights, it's all about your passion, and it's all about the story. You can talk about whatever you want, which is, I don't know, the hottest marketing shit, whether it's influencer marketing, performance marketing, or whatsoever. But I'm strongly convinced you need to follow your passion, and you need a great story, whatever this means. But in the end of the day, people will tell each other a story and spread the word, and this is what really counts. And it's not me to judge, but early on stage, I think there was a guy from Runtastic, and he recommended to focus more on the product, which is, I guess, definitely right for startups. But he said that, for example, networking is not so important. And I disagree a little bit, because I think connecting with other people, learning from other people, sharing insights with other people, that's really the most thing which counts. Yeah, because in the end of the day, there's only one thing which is for sure. And it's for sure that we all will go someday, we'll leave someday, we'll die someday. And if you're lying there and you're dying, who gives a shit if you have done a campaign for Procter & Gamble, for Unilever, for whatever brand? I mean, I've done this in my life, but 2.5 years ago, I got a little baby daughter, and for me, the perception of life changed completely. So I was afraid a lot if I should follow my passion and go around as a speaker and a trainer. And I gave here a speech in the first year, and there were a lot of people showing up, and this really gave me the power and the passion to follow this path. And look at me, I'm sitting here now for the 4th time. So I don't know, it's not because I'm so good, but it's nice to have a feedback which says, okay, I followed the passion, I share a lot of stories, and it's just so great to be back here. Thank you very much.
That's awesome. All right, so first I'm actually going to share something that Scott wanted to share. Something that is both very important to him and myself, and it was a big part of what we wanted to do at the end of this session, which is that both of us, we love 15 Seconds Festival. We really do. Truly, we love the experience. We love the people. We love the team behind it. We love, the relationship that came out of it, the business value that has been generated out of it. But the one thing we both were very uncomfortable with is that the stage sometimes, when you're on stage, it creates a little bit of a division between the audience and yourself. And when you're as awesome as Scott is, people dehumanizing you by making you a hero. People look up to Scott and he's just like this greater than life character. He's the original marketing rock star, like really in the dictionary there should be a picture of him as like the marketing rock star. And people love him, and he has a magnetic personality and is a golden heart and is like deserves all the success he has. But to a certain degree, people put him on a pedestal in a way that he felt is not healthy for most and is not fair to himself because he doesn't feel like he's something special. And I think that a lot of speakers feel that way. I surely do feel that way as well. I think the main message he wanted to share at the end of this is that no matter if you're a speaker or not, no matter if you're the CEO of a really big company or you're the CEO of your single person company, no matter if you're rich or poor, we all don't know what the fuck we're doing, right? To various degrees, we're all just trying to figure life out. And we all have complexes about things. We all have insecurities about things. We all are like, you might look at a speaker and go, this person looks successful and rich and famous and happy and healthy and sexy and everything I want. That person may or may not feel the same way. That person has their own problems, insecurities. You know how many speakers after our talks, the first thing when you congratulate a speaker, the first reaction typically from speaker to speaker is you're like, that was awesome. No, I forgot to say this. And it sucked. I saw one person was not, was totally disinterested. I really wanted to share this. Like we're just human beings. We're just fucking human beings. We're trying to figure it out. Hopefully we've learned a few things that by sharing, we empower other people to accomplish what they want in life. But nobody really has all the answers. Especially there's not a single answer. That's another thing, right? If you ask the same question to all of us, you'll get very different answers. Sometimes conflicting answers. And it's because there's not a single answer that works for everybody. For everything that I strongly believe in, I can find you a counterexample of somebody that did the exact opposite and succeeded, right? So instead of being stressed out about trying to find the answers, relax, chill, and try to find your answer, your truth. When you look at the speakers or when you look at people you read about in the press, try to find somebody that is relatable to you, your life. Right? Don't look at all the examples that look like people that are more successful at a younger age or that have a different gender than you or have a different upbringing and go, look at all these people, they have all these things and they're so different from me. Try to find the examples that you can relate to, people that are just like you, people that got successful, in the world wherever you are in a way that makes you believe in yourself and that you can make it as well. So that's one thing that Scott wanted to share. The other thing that I wanted to share, and this is a compliment to the festival, and this is such an obvious piece of information that's so easy. It's very hard to communicate it in a way that doesn't fly over your head. It's like, yeah, sure, whatever. But the one thing that stands out to me, even after 4 years of coming here, even after seeing the festival going from 1,000 people the first year, I think, 1,000, 1,200, something like that, to over 4,000 people this year. Over 4,000. Woo! There you go. Yes, one person. Like, seeing the conference grow to this level, I've asked every single volunteer, every single driver, every single person that is somewhat part of making this whole thing work, what they like, and even more importantly, what surprised them the most about the festival. What was something you did not expect would be the way it is? The answer that almost everybody gave me was, the energy in the team is amazing. The team is amazing. People are, like, even when shit hits the fan, when catastrophes happen, when things don't work out, people are positive, people are motivated, people are inspired, people are happy to be here, wanting to make this the greatest festival on earth. And that, at the end of the day, that feeling that it starts with the founders and it translates to the people they hire and they bring in their family, that translates into every little detail that might make you feel like this is a really fucking awesome festival. I'm having such a great time. Oh my God, why is this so great? It might be the stage. It might be the free, Jaeger shots. God knows I had many of them. But I do think that it all starts with the founders and it all starts with the team. And it starts with how you treat your people will translate into how they treat everybody else. And everybody here had a smile on their face, and it makes all the difference. Believe it, from somebody that goes to lots and lots of conferences and festivals and events. You can taste it in the air. There's a difference when the culture is positive and healthy. So huge congratulations to Stefan and Timo and the rest of the team, all the volunteers, everybody that's put this event together, for having this amazing vibe and energy and motivation to all that you do. And I'll give you one last little story on that. The very first day I checked in, I walk in the hotel, I'm passing all these rooms, I'm trying to get to my room, and one gentleman was so loud in his room on the phone that I had to hear it. I couldn't do any different. He was on the phone, I could just hear somebody go, "Oh my God, this festival is amazing. From the pickup at the airport to arriving in the room, the welcome. There's a little heart that says, 'I'm so glad you're here.' Like all the little details. My God, this is incredible." Whatever, he was talking to some friend, like, "You won't believe, you have to come next year." I'm like, wow. The festival hasn't even started yet, right? And this person is on the phone, checked in the hotel room, telling somebody you have to come to this festival, right? That's the power of people treating people the right way and sweating the little details. So give it up, round of applause to the festival crew. And this was the quote we wanted to leave you with. At the end of their life, nobody remembers the nights they had plenty of sleep. So I'll tell you a little backstory to this. A few weeks ago, I was actually in Austria, this beautiful country, and I'd been out for way too many days in other beautiful countries, and I was determined not to go out at all anymore. I went to an event, and there was an after party. I went to the after party to just show my face, and I was like, in my mind, I had this plan that I would leave. The moment people turn around, I'd be gone. And people would be like, "Was Stelly here?" "Yeah, Stelly was here." "Where's he now?" "We don't know." I would be like in the hotel room sleeping. The bad news was that I arrived there, and there's like constantly, anytime I was like, and now I'm gonna slowly walk backwards out of the door, there was somebody stumbling over me that was like, "Stelly, we should hang out, let's have drinks." I had like water with ice and a lemonade. I was like, "I'm already having a vodka, I'm good." And that happened for a really long time until one friend showed up, and he was not, I was like, all right, but now I really need to leave. And he was like, "Yeah, but Stelly, we should go out. I never see you. This is Austria, it's a beautiful country. Let's go out and have a nice party tonight." Like, tonight, not, sorry, any night. You cannot convince me tonight. And he kept coming back to me. He was like, "Stelly, tonight, another friend of ours is waiting for you. We have a table at this club. There's lots of people waiting for you." He was just trying to convince me. And eventually he sat next to me and he said, "Stelly, I know you love quotes. I was in Holland the other day, and in a bar I saw this quote: 'At the end of their life, nobody remembers the nights they had plenty of sleep.'" And I went, "Oh, shit. All right, you got me. Let's go out." Now, he told me this. We went out, we had a crazy night. I wrote this quote to my newsletter, which is tens of thousands of people around the world. We ruined lives all around the world by spreading this quote. And then a few days ago, I was back in his corner of Austria, and I was like, "Motherfucker, you remember you didn't want to go out? Like, I didn't want to go out. Now you're going to go out with me." And we went out for 4 nights in a row. And he had to leave in the morning to Madrid, and he was out with me until we drove him to the airport to Madrid at 7 or something. And he texted me, he sent me a Facebook message as he arrived in Madrid, and he said, "When I told you this quote 2 months ago, I did not know what kind of impact it would have on my life." So, believe it from us, we've been at this after party plenty of times. Tonight is not the night to get plenty of sleep. Tonight is a night to go to the after party and make it a night to remember for the ages. So we're all looking forward to see you tonight. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, guys, for sharing your very personal insights into the festival. Thank you for being here. Thank you for coming on stage and doing this closing fireside. Give another round of applause to all of them. To Pascal, Steli, Melissa, Sven, Franz, and Thorsten.
We're not leaving. We're just gonna stay here.
You're
Stefan
gonna
and
stay?
Timo can come on stage. We're gonna be the background stage.
You cannot know that, but it's a tradition that
It's a
we'll
tradition
stay
that we stay
here.
here.
And
All right, you're already reserving your best seats for the after party, I guess. Yeah. Are you good on gin and tonics, or do we
We
need
could
to
have
get you
another
any
one.
more?
We could have another round.
Somebody in a red shirt, get them another gin and tonic real quick before this escalates up here. Well, we're almost at a close. A big thank you from me for all the attention you gave to speakers here on the keynote stage and all around the festival. And this goes out to all of you, to the co-founders and the confounders, to the co-workers and the KO workers, to the session junkies, the keynote geeks and the after-show shakers. It goes out to the entrepreneurs and to the entrepreneured, to the startups and to the upstarts. An alle da draußen von euch, die sich nicht entscheiden haben können, ob sie zu TED oder zum Frequency fahren und dann gedacht haben, sie machen einfach beides und kommen zum 15 Seconds und erledigen das gleichzeitig. Vielen, vielen Dank